How you doing, everybody? Billy Big Balls here, episode 20. It's such a special episode that we wanted to get a special guest, but unfortunately we couldn't. So we were out looking on the street there and I found this bloke. How you doing, bro? All good, yeah?
All good. Nice one for having me on, yeah?
Yeah, man, pleasure, you know?
Yeah, I was just saying it's the first time I'm a guest on a podcast,
yeah,
so it's a bit strange.
Yeah.
I don't really know where it's going to go, but we'll have fun
listen,
on the
you
way,
know, we'll go somewhere good, you know what I mean? So, do you want to tell everybody who you are and where you're from? And
yeah, so a lot of people know me as Ryan Tierney, but I actually changed my name there not too long ago to Ryan Bowes. From Ringsend, well, Pear Street originally, but moved to Ringsend when I was in Nipper, you know. And yeah, I do a podcast myself, so I think that's probably why you gave me the shout to come on.
Yeah, look, I was getting a few ideas off you when I remember I met you doing the spitting a fucking thing, you know.
Well, Alex,
when you were the gun man, you know. But
I got a bit of stick from the boys there, dressing up as an English.
As a Brit?
Yeah.
But listen, you know, we all couldn't be.
It was a bit of crack that day, wasn't it?
Ah, fucking deadly. Some was, you know.
Yeah.
And the fact where we did it and all, like, you know, it was a real, like, fuck you kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like,
there was a lot of blading heat after it, wasn't there?
Ah, big time, like, you know, like, it was all over the RTA and all, you know, you're like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't, like, I genuinely didn't know before we got there where it was. I thought it was just in some town, it was the Freemasons building, yeah.
You'd wonder what they got up to in that building back in the day.
I'm telling you, it's like, even the Jacks was like, you know. Yeah, you know, it was like, never seen anything like this, you know. There wasn't like, it was a mad fucking, mad setup it was, you know.
Yeah, I trust Alex to do something like that, innit?
Ah, yeah, he's like, he has some imagination, man.
Yeah, that's what, he gave me a call, or he gave me a DM on Instagram one day, he was like, I just need someone tall.
Yeah.
I was like, if that's all I need to get into Hollywood, then I'm doing well, you know.
Here we go.
But now as soon as he asked me to jump on, I was like, what's the crack with what's going on? And he was kind of explaining it. He was like, look, it's a weird concept, but this is it. And I was like, holy Jesus. Yeah. Like, where did your brain go to, mate, you know? Yeah. And then the dragon at the end, like, what's the crack with that?
Yeah. Like, when we were going up to do it, like, I didn't know anything about it, you know.
Yeah.
Jay and I picked me up in the car and we were driving up and they were like, do you know what it's about and all? And I was like, no. And they were like, it's about spitting some Ellen's fanny and all. And I was like, no way. These are winding me up, you know. It couldn't be about that.
Yeah,
and
the Irish saliva or something.
Yeah, you know, like, fucking. And then when I got there and your woman was up on the stage and she real posh looking out.
She was sound as well, though.
Yeah. But she walked by us.
The scientist was sound, like, and you think, like,
they look like real.
Yeah, like, they're actors, obviously, so they, like, when you get a role, you're like, fuck it, I'll do it, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, if getting that sent over to them, I'd imagine they were like, what? Like, all of us were. Yeah. But, like, fair play, as you said, your woman was a bit, like, upper class or whatever.
Yeah.
She took to it like a bleeding.
Yeah, took the water, Like, she walked by us and we were thinking, you know, there's no way she's in this, you know what I mean? And there she is up on the stage there and pulling the knickers down and all like this.
You all getting dragged along the
you know what I mean? Yeah, you dragging me along, yeah.
I think that was actually the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I've obviously seen it in the versatile videos and all, and then I remember you saying it to me that day. You were like, you're thinking of starting a podcast and all.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
yeah, man, go do it. Like.
Yeah, because Alex was telling me that you had a podcast.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, fuck's sake, well, you'd be the perfect man to play and talk to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and look, I tried to help you out as best I can, but at the end of the day, I was still we'd done 115 episodes, but, like, it's still, every episode was a new learning experience, you know? And it's one of those things where it's when you started off, I'm sure you felt the same. You're like, you know, you think of the views and, like, a bit of, not even fame, but, like, a bit of recognition for doing something, you know. And then you get into it and you're like, what I learned anyway was, what I got from it, from myself, was you actually meet all these new people that you would never have a conversation with without the podcast. You know, and
100%.
Although we've done 115 episodes, like, I'd say about 90 were with guests. You know, you had to do a filler episode, someone lets you down or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, we spoke to, like, 90 people that we were kind of really interested in, and that we only found through the podcast and found interest in then, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I got from it then. After that was getting experience from other people's lives that I would have never have gotten without the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
And you find new music, you find new art, you find new movies and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you kind of open up to the world a little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
more.
100%, yeah. Like it's like same on this, like Dano and all. We know all the guests that came on.
Yeah.
But we didn't know them, you know. Didn't know their personal stories and all. You know, you hear like about things. Oh, he's on this, or he did this, or he was.
Of course, yeah.
But when you actually talk to them, and you know, like that's like. You know, years ago we used to talk, you know, we used to see people and say, he's a sap, he's a muppet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get to know these people.
Yeah.
And it turns out that you're the sap. You know what I mean? You could have fucking gave this person a chance like 20 years ago.
Of course,
and you're like, he was a muppet.
You were definitely a sap.
Yeah, no, 1,000,000%. Like, we were bleeding. You know, if we was looking back...
The jury's still out on that
Yeah,
one.
you know, if I was looking back now on fucking shit I did like years ago, he was a little prick, you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't like me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
like,
that's good self-reflection, you know, because
no, here, listen.
a lot of people look at themselves and think that they're not a problem when in reality they are.
Well, look at here.
If you try to say it to them, then they're like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah.
Drop your ego a little bit, you know. That's
it, but like, we all have it, like, you know, like everybody, it's not just, you know. But yeah, like, we look back on things, like even last week when we were talking, the one that came out last week, you're talking about what I did to the cop. Like, when I was looking back at it, I was like, why did you say that? You know what I mean? You should have. That's something that you should have brought to the grave with you. You know what I mean? But
what was that?
Fuck it, it's done.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone missed.
Just in case anyone missed it. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Go check out last week.
Yeah. Hopefully the copper's not watching it. He's probably dead. Fuck him anyway.
But no, that's it. You know, as you said, you like, and when you say there, the guests you've had on, you kind of know. But as the podcast goes on, I think what will happen is you'll start getting guests that you don't know, and you get to hear it from ground zero. Not even like, as you mentioned, Dano's a good mate of mine.
Yeah.
I knew his story as well before I listened because we're close friends. But you know, we would have had guests on that, like, that's a prime example. Nilo, for example, he's a hip hop artist from Dublin, and I'd never heard of him, but I'd heard of him from a past guest,
right,
Rebel Phoenix, and I heard of him from a mate of mine. He told me to reach out to Rebel. Then we met Rebel, lovely lad, had a great episode. We asked him at the end, who do you think is cool and who's doing well in the scene or whatever, and he was saying Nilo, and then we got Nilo on and we were talking to him and he said, who did you think is cool in the scene? He's like, Courtesy, and then we reached out to Courtesy, and then we're meeting this kind of, it was like a whole web of fucking people that are coming on. And then you get to see what they're doing. Like, I don't know if you know Courtesy. He's a rapper from Tally.
No.
But he's doing really fucking well for himself now, you know?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things with Dublin. And what we kind of wanted from the podcast was to get these kind of, not unknown, but like, you know, lower level, like, like not even just hip-hop music in general, or actors, or whatever, artists, chefs, and everything, you know.
Yeah, get them
We just
out there.
wanted to show that Dublin has this creative fucking bubbling pot of that we think is ready to kind of boil over and explode, and you know, and a lot of these people deserve the credit that they deserve credit for what they're doing. And like, you can see it with Courtesy, even like Rebel Phoenix dropped an album and it was unreal. I bought it on vinyl, and you know, I would have never got to do any of this stuff without the podcast, and that's what I'm kind of grateful for.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, like even like we had Rego on a few weeks ago. Like, you know, like we grew up, the three of us grew up together. You know, and like we just went their separate ways as you got older.
Of course,
whatever,
that's how it goes, isn't it?
Having Rego on, you know, like the chats with him and all. You know what I mean?
Sometimes that's
like,
all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, like, and we were saying, like, if it wasn't for the podcast, the three of us wouldn't be in the same room together. You know. Like, don't get me wrong, when we see each other on the street, it was like, all right, what's the crack, and how's things, how's life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then, but that'd be it, you know?
Yeah.
And then when we were all here together, like, you know, we were talking about things, like, it was so funny, Rego. He's just a blatant, he's kind of like me. He has no filter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do have a filter, you know what I mean, like, for certain things, but when you're talking, like, that's what I was saying last week, like, when you get behind the camera, you forget the camera's there.
Yeah, you can.
And you start talking, like, you know, and like, he doesn't take that now, you know what I mean? Everything's left in, you know what I mean? Except the shit that they were talking about, him and Reggio. And then they cut it out and all.
Right,
Had to cut it out, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah, we'd be the same, you know. We used, like, there was one time, I won't say who it was, but I was giving someone stick who we worked with.
Right.
And he didn't say anything bad about the person, you know.
Yeah.
But I was giving this person stick and just kind of saying that I thought he was a god. Like, I don't know the bloke, but you know, you look at people, and especially with social media, when they're doing things to get there, like to get up into the fucking views and people do stupid shit, you know. Yeah. And look, all power to them. Like, a lot of people that do that stuff, they do well for themselves. So you can't knock the hustle, but it's just not me.
Yeah,
you get me? Like, I'm not. I done a few TikToks with my little girl or whatever. And even at that, I was at a push. I was like, this is a bit, I'm not me or whatever. But you know, a lot of people. But anyway, I was giving your man stick, and the guest didn't say anything at the time. Yeah. And he goes, he texts us then after. He's like, look, everything was great. But see, when Ryan was giving your man stick, I had to see him on Monday. Yeah. When the episode goes out. So if you don't mind just clipping that part out, like, cause I'll have to explain or whatever. But it was all good, you know. But everything else that we put out, we never cut out, and I don't believe in that, because if you can't have a conversation, if you're gonna give an opinion, you have to stick by it, you know. Yeah, no,
100%. Like, that's what we like. We're playing. We don't give a bollocks, like. You know, we say whatever, like, because at the end of the day, like, who gives a fuck what? Like, see other people's opinions and all. Like, I don't give a bollocks what you think of me. You're like, what you think of me is none of my business. Well, I genuinely don't care, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like, I know people that are like, like, you know, I was going to go there, but he's there and things there and I don't want to. Fuck them. Just go, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you get to a certain age and you don't care about anything. You don't give a bollocks. Like, we were talking about, like, things you worry about. Oh, worry about this, worry about that. It never happened.
Yeah.
Like, why worry about shit? Just fucking... Sometimes it's hard not to worry, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. It's just like, human nature,
yeah, you know, if you say to someone, listen, the best thing to do is not worry. Just go home and go sleep.
You're not living that experience.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy from
it's easy to say that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to, you know?
That's what, there's a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's Mark Manson, his name is. I remember reading that a couple of years ago, and it fucking changed my whole perspective on life. Yeah. And, like, I'm not a blading self-help, fucking self-awareness, like, mental health influence or anything like that. I believe, like, your mental health is very important, and, like, to speak up, there's nothing wrong with that. To be vulnerable, there's nothing wrong with that. But what the book teaches you is that, as you were just saying there, like, people's perception of you, they don't fully understand what you're living. Yeah. Like, there's 24 hours in a day. Yeah. You might have an interaction with someone for 5 minutes, and they'll take what they're going through or what their life is and try and put your life together. Yeah. Like, in what they think.
What they
and
think
then
you
go
should,
home and, like, even, like, all my best mates are, like, my best mate Richie lives over in Berlin. I don't know what he's doing from one end of the year to the other, pretty much. You know, I text him every day or whatever, but, like, I don't know how he's getting up for work, when he's getting, like, how he's feeling
and what's he,
how, like, if he has a deadline for something or X, Y, and Z. And that's what I feel like a lot of people forget. And especially when you do something in a creative space like this. Yeah. You know, people are going to watch this now who probably definitely don't know me, but they're your fans, and they'll either, as soon as they hear me talking, they're going to make a conscious decision whether they like me or not. Yeah. And what I've learned through the podcast is that's going to happen regardless. If I go home and worry about it, then that worry is just going to carry over into my life. Yeah. So why do I give a fuck?
Yeah, no, here, listen. Look, we put a yoke up the other night and some bloke sent a fucking smart message.
There's nothing better than hate mail. Hate messages, man.
It was the first thing. Great. This was first thing great. Friday morning. I woke up to his comment and I was like, you just made my day.
Yeah.
Have a good one, you know what I mean?
But these people sit on their phones.
Yeah.
Probably in a nip.
Yeah.
Have that blade in a man's box room or whatever, you know? Yeah. And they look at you doing something positive or doing something that you want to do and want to bring you right down.
Yeah.
They're not doing that with their lives.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't get, is when you send a hate message, whether the person on the other end is strong enough to deal with it or not is a totally different. And look, there's always going to be trolls. But like, if that's all you're known for, then I'd rather sit in front of a camera and be called a gobshite than sit behind a phone and have no interaction with anyone. Other than trying to rage people. Imagine trying to bait people into an argument.
I know. It's
What's the story?
What is the end game? Like, you know, I do see loads of things on the thing that I don't agree with, I don't like. I never comment.
Yeah.
I never make a comment, you sap, you shouldn't be doing that.
But don't get me wrong, I'd be sitting there, like, let's say, watching a live on TikTok.
You'd love to
and
say.
I'm like, but then I'm like, why am I wasting the energy?
You know what I mean?
I'll just exhale it and go to the next fucking page,
scroll on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, here, listen.
But it is, and it's kind of, people always say it, people that are successful will never bring you down.
No.
Like, people
They'll
that
encourage you.
You know, like, you started this podcast and I only kind of know you since the Alex video or whatever. And when you were telling me I was setting a podcast, I was like, yeah, good for you. Like, I'm not sitting there being like, what the fuck's this idiot doing? Podcast
texting me. What's he texting me for?
Yeah, you know it's let people be creative, man, and fucking, because at the end of the day, we're all going to be in this fucking box under the ground.
Look, I admire
and all this stuff's not going to mean that, and eventually, you know, YouTube might not even exist in 100 years. You get me?
Yeah.
And like, we're so worried now at this point of what people think of us, when it's like, look, we're having a cool conversation now. We can take this away, and I can go home and be like, yeah, do you know, that was cool.
Yeah, I had a good
on a fucking what day is it? Thursday night. Not doing that else. I'll go and have a rap with Billy, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from it.
Yeah, no, here, listen, I genuinely don't know anything about you, so it's interesting for me to listen to what you got out of your podcast, and the people that, like we were saying about the music, your man from Tala or whatever, you didn't know anything about him, and now you know about him, you know.
Of course, It
was like we had your man on. What was his name? Hands On?
Hands Up.
Hands On. It wasn't Hands Off, it was Hands On, because I said it Hands Off, and he was like, I kept saying it to him. Hands Off, because I was genuinely like, forgot, you know. But he was like,
he was fully blading ballied up.
He was ballied up and all, you know what I mean? But like the circumstances.
Did he say for the black?
Yeah, but the circumstances, like why he was ballied up, when he told us why, you know what I mean? Like they made sense, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But he like the conversation with him was like, it was like a therapy. Yeah, actually, you know what? This podcast is like a therapy session.
It
really is. You know what I mean? Like loads of things that I had built up, I got off my chest, you know, and it's like, I feel 100 times better after I do the podcast when I go home, you know?
This is the thing about conversation, and like, especially with men, you know, every year when it's Men's Mental Health in November, wherever, you know, and people talk about, and mental health, people are talking about it all the time, and that's great. But a lot of people like to pretend to talk about it. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And look, whatever way you want to kind of navigate your life, or like if you're going through something, and whatever way it is, I honestly feel like having conversations with people, because what I've learned from, say, talking to one person about their life growing up, I'm like, I kind of had the same fucking life as you.
Yeah.
So I understand why you're feeling this way now, because I've went through those motions. And it's only until you realise that, like, let's take, for example, your podcast now, it has over 1,000 followers. So let's say, just as an example, you know 1,000 people, right? 1,000 people in the whole concept of the world is nothing. You know, there's 7 billion people on this earth. And, like, you think about our lives, and this is where I've kind of, with that book that I was talking about, where I've kind of grown as a person, it's like, we don't understand what people are going through on a daily basis, as we said earlier. But also, that's only in Dublin. Like, we're thinking of these people.
Yeah, true.
You know, and like, there's a lot going on with immigration and stuff like that, and I'm not going to get into all that because it's not my type of jam. I don't know enough about it, I don't know. But for me, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people out there suffering. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And it's easy for us, like, if we look at their lives on a different fucking world or a different country or whatever, they're looking at us as if to say, you actually had a fucking unbelievable life in comparison to us. And we take that for granted. And that's what I try to push across with my podcast as well, is that, like, we're all fucking human. And we're all here to fucking enjoy life and do what makes us happy.
We're all going out the same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And, like, it's a bit of a shame on kind of people that are so hateful towards others that they don't even know. Straight away. Like, even as I said, someone could watch this now and be like, he's a bloody clown.
Yeah.
And, like, that's fine. Like, that's completely fine, but at the end of the day, you don't know what I'm going through, I don't know what you're going through, but at least have a little bit of empathy to think, I don't know what he's going through.
Yeah.
So, on perception, he's a dickhead, but I haven't had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
So, I can't truly judge him,
yeah.
You get me?
Well, like, that's why I show more empathy now for everybody, like, and I try to be played more positive and understand, because I know, like I was saying there last week about, you walk down the street, you know, and you see someone and you say hello to you, and then the next day they don't say hello to you. No, someone say to me, see him, he's a wanker. He only says hello to you on a Monday and doesn't say hello to you. Like, you don't know what's going on in his head. He could be like, and like I was saying last week,
could have lost his wallet that morning.
He could have fucking lost his fucking mother. He could have lost anything, you know what I mean? So, and that's why we were saying about your man, even when we had your man hands on, and we were saying about the gym and all, and he was saying, like, you know, Billy, your man could have been going through a breakup, and I was like, all right, man, fuck's sake. Like, you just, that's it.
That is
like,
it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you, I'd say most people that I interact with during the day, right? I'd say they look at me and think, he's a little scumbag looking cunt or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when they talk to me, they probably thinking, Jesus Christ, man, I judged him wrong, you know what I mean?
Of course,
he is a little scumbag.
He's a fucking
He's
massive
a bigger
scumbag.
fucking scumbag than I thought he was. But that's the way, like, I do see people, you know, like, I mean to him, I have manners, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, and respect, like, as well.
Yeah, if I see someone coming, like, I'd hold the door. Like, we were in Spain there last week, right? And we're on the bus, right? And the bus was packed. And an old woman got on with a little kid. They were coming out of school, you know.
Yeah.
And they got on, and there was loads of people, no one. And me and my mate were sitting there, and I jumped up and I said, "Hey, do you want to see?" And she's looking at me like, "Oh, you sure?" I says, "Yeah." And my mate, she had a little kid with her, and I says to my mate, "Jump up there and let him sit down." Yeah. We got up, and everybody was staring at us on the bus, like as if we're at doing something wrong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I hold the door open for people, like, fucking say yes, please, thank you, or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, like,
but that's what I feel like. A lot of, like, especially with young fellas and, like, kind of a younger generation than us, I feel like respect has gone out the window. Do you get me?
Big time.
It's like, and a respect not just for the people around you, but, like, just as I said, in the broader sense of the world. Like, there's a lot going on in the world and as I said, we're lucky to be growing up on this small island. Like, we might not have everything that we want, but we have a hell of a lot more than
we have everything
people
we
out
need,
there.
man. You know
and look, there are people out there struggling as well. And at the end of the day, I always go back to, do you know Emma Kerwin? Have you ever heard of Emma Kerwin? He's a poet, actor, kind of writer. He's brilliant, brilliant mind. Yeah. He was on the Late Late Show, and he's talking about, like, and this is like, I don't know, I can't say exactly how long it was, but he's talking about the world and kind of life in Dublin. He's talking about Leo Varadkar and, like,
I heard it. He was in Fair City, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Yeah.
But he goes, he says, like, it wasn't blokes in tracksuits that round the country. It was blokes in suits. Yeah. And it's that he was saying, it's the old adage of divide and conquer, but it's divide and rule. Like, while we're all on the bottom of the ladder fighting with each other for resources, if you think it's your neighbour that done you out because he's on the social welfare, you're pointing the fingers at him, but you're not pointing the fingers up. Yeah. And they all fucking stand at the top of the ladder shaking their hands with the money in the back of their pocket.
Everyone's looking at each other.
Exactly,
Your neighbour's saying, he's on the labour and you're bleeding, you're out slagging your bollocks and you're giving out about him.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You want to, like you say, you want to be looking at the bigger picture, you know what I mean?
And that's how I think the country's going to, like, there is, as I said, there's a lot going on with the left and the right and the blade and blah, blah, blah. Like, as I said, I don't know enough about it to talk about it too much, you know.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, that's what's going on at the minute.
Yeah, and that's what it is. We're fighting with each other. If we all what both sides want is a better way of living. Yeah. Is a better conditions for living. That's what both sides want. And while we're fighting now, this, that, blah, 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 then they're all up there rubbing their hands together, getting all the money, you know, and that's it. And, you know, I've learned this through, like, we had Leah Whelan on. She's not a senator, like, she's a local TD up in Tala, and she's kind of left lane, and, well, I'd say she's a left wing politician, but, like, hearing her story of, like, what's going on up in Tala with drugs and and like criminality and whatever, when I heard that, I was like I would have looked down on people from Tallaght, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it has that name, or like
yeah.
Tallaght, or, you know, maybe, I don't want to disrespect anywhere else, but let's say Ballyferm or Ballymun or Finglas or whatever. You know, you have this, because we're from Ringsend, it's a small town,
that's a mad place.
Small town mentality. And that happens everywhere. Like Ballymun are probably like, they're all shy bags down Ringsend.
Yeah,
100%. And then it's until you get to know everyone and you're like, actually, you know what, the boys from Ballymun are sound, you know?
Well, at one stage they wanted to call Ringsend Dublin 4 West.
Yeah, or Dublin 0, was it?
People from Sandymount and
that.
Yeah. The petition. Because of all the flats, people living in the flats. You want to call it Dublin 4 West.
Yeah.
Separate, you know?
Dublin 4,
yeah. That's what you say, we live in Dublin 4, the wrong side of it now, you know what I mean?
Stain on the arsehole.
You know, But like, you're going back to saying about places like Tallaght and all, you think, like, I know loads of people from Tallaght, and they're all bleeding sound, you know what I mean?
We're all
like, your man was bleeding, your man hands on, he lives out in Tallaght.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, I know loads of people from out there, loads of people in Bally, loads of people, all these areas there where you think, like, these are mad areas, but they're actually not. And most of if you go on the site, if you ever walk on building sites or anything like that, most of the blokes are from Tallaght, Finglas, Clondalk, and all places like that.
Class,
you know what I mean? Just there is crazy cunts out there, like, you know what I mean? But it's like everywhere else.
But
you
it's
know?
the same. Like, and I always using it like, I always say it's like, if there's 100 people in front of you and one person does something bad or wrong or whatever, do you blame the other 99 for that one person's actions?
No.
Do you get me? You don't. And that's what, it's the same with, like...
But that's what's happening at the moment.
There's a lot going on.
100%. That's what's happening, you know.
But like, I got... How I've gotten to here was from life growing up. And now you're kind of asked me to chat about kind of growing up or whatever, but I came from a bleeding single parent household. You know,
like myself.
Yeah, I think everyone, you know. And like, we have, like, me and all the boys, we do have a joke, like, the few of them still have their man and ass together, and we're like, oh, you have loving families.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, growing up, I would have been I would have been shy, I would have been nervous, I would have been, like, as you said, I would have let people's negative opinions of me get to you. That was as a kid, you know. I'm sure you can see now my face is red. Like, I've had that for that's been my whole life. Used to be called tomato face and all that. And that was like, that fucking hurt me for a long time, you know, because all they had to say was the colour red, and I'd blush up straight away, you know.
Oh, you're taking a red now.
Exactly. But like, and then like growing up, I was my nanny and granddad raised me. My dad was locked up when I was a kid, you know, for drugs. And you know, I used to think he was an electrician over in England, and like, that's what I was told. My ma worked her fucking socks off for me and my brother, you know. And I was raised by my nanny and granddad. And then I think you're saying, you know, my Uncle John. And Steve, my Uncle Steve, he'd want to shout out as well.
He's Oliver Clothes off. That's it, I met him down in there, Ringsend, and he was saying to me, oi, that's me. Oliver Clothes off. I was like, all right, okay, because I was thinking, who's this smart cunt, you know what I mean?
Oliver Clothes off.
But John did me a solid when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I did. You know, it's probably don't really want to, you know what I mean? Not that I don't want to talk about it, but he basically, the guy that battered me, and he was going past and he seen it, and he went over to the station and said, listen, I seen him getting battered black, came to court from, you know. Sound. You know what? I have lots of time for him. Anytime I see him, it's like, you know, how's things, blah, 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 you know. But you see him like I remember seeing him when I was younger, then hadn't seen him for like 20 years. Seen him then one day, you know. But I work with a bloke, well, he does a bit of maintenance in the job I work in, but he knows him from when he was a kid, you know what I mean? And the stories he tells you. See what he's off the chopper.
My Uncle John, he was always a good man, you know, but he had his problems. As we all do, you know. And, you know, back then in the 80s or whatever, when he was a young fella, you go down the wrong road, like my dad did, you know. And for years growing up, I despised my dad, you know. And he came on the podcast, he done an episode with us. He talked about his life, and like, he grew up with 8 brothers and 7 sisters, and, you know, in Fatima mansions.
So tough
like,
out
yeah,
life,
it was a tough,
and
he went down the wrong path or whatever. He chose that lifestyle over his family, and like I'm not the only kid he has. He's a few sprogs up around the areas or whatever, you know. But like for me growing up, I was, as I said, I was nervous. I was quiet because I never really had anyone to kind of show me the ropes. What I thought was showing me the ropes. You know, when you're a young fella growing up, you want to have a lady out for there if you get in a bit of trouble. Don't get me wrong, my brother fucking done his part, my granddad done his part, but it just wasn't the same. Do you get me? But I was raised by my mum and nanny basically, so I'm a bit more like kind of feminine, as you like. As
we were the same.
You know,
we were raised exactly the same, bro. By my nanny and my granddad, my ma. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, I was raised with a more softer touch. You know?
Okay.
I wouldn't have been a blade big like fucking throwing me weight around. I hated fighting. I just wanted to, you know, if I played football, I just wanted to blade and get into a tackle and not have a fucking happen after, you know. But like a lot of people have, especially kids, have egos, you know. You crunch someone and they, what are you fucking doing, you know, and that's fine.
Look at you, Redder.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But and I think my journey in life was skewed because of that, in the sense of I learned to have empathy a lot earlier in life because I was raised by two women. Basically, you know, I learned that it's not about being a hard man or at an early age, and I think that kind of stood by me for a long time, because even like I remember my brother telling me one time that I was too nice. And I was like, how is that a problem? He's like, it's not a problem, but like you're gonna get stepped over in life and all. And I was like, well, if people would step on me, then I don't want them to be in their life. I don't want them to be part of my life or anything like that. I'll move away from them. And he said, like, you know, I'm just trying. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, like whatever. Exactly. And like I look at it now, and I'm even with my mates, I think I'd be the person that they'd come to for a chat, and like I love that. You know, I love the fact that I'm an open book, and that I feel people feel like they can come talk to me. Because I'd rather people talk to me than fucking. Even with Dano McGuinness, I remember him ringing me on like having a bad night. On the session or whatever. I'm sitting there talking, and I was on the session as well. Like But and like, as you know, when you're playing fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, you're on all sorts. You're fucking you're an open book anyway. But I remember speaking to him, and I was like, look, mate, it's all in your head now. You know, it's just what's the situation at the moment. I says, put your fucking head down, go to sleep, and ring me in the morning. And you know, rang me in the morning. We talked the trail, you know. And getting back, like, and I think that because of that, like, when I started walking, I went to college. I think I was the first person in my family to go to college. My brother was a skippy, and I went to college for a year and I hated it, and I started walking in Top Man. Do you remember Top Man in Grafton Street?
Top Man, yeah.
And the amount of stick I got for walking in Top Man.
Exactly,
Wearing skinny jeans and like long t-shirts, and I used to have hair back then, you know.
Actually, I think I do remember you now, that you mentioned the skinny jeans and all.
But and then a lot of people from Ringsend thought it was gay, because I was wearing skinny jeans. Like, I had friends from Drimnit and all that I was hanging around with more, and the boys were all like, oh, is he fucking with him and all? I was like, boys, what the fuck, man? I've had a missus, and I'm with my girlfriend 12 years now. I was wearing skinny jeans with my girl. With me,
we are both.
Sharing skinny jeans and all. And like a lot of the boys used to give me stick about that, and I was like, don't worry about it, lads. They're all still wearing skinny jeans now. And look, I'm wearing fucking baggy chats now, you know. And that's what I always felt about people, is they're so quick to judge and like so quick to give someone stick because they're not used to what's going on in front of them. And then as soon as they see fucking someone else wearing them, that's cool. Then it's like, oh yeah, I'll wear them.
What you need to do is get out of Ringsend and go and have a look around the world, you know what I mean? Because, you know, like...
And like, that's not me being big-headed or anything. No. That was just because I was walking... Like, people think that I've had this... There was this whole thing that everyone thought I knew what I was doing. But I was just copying all the boys in Top Man. Like, because they were all the fucking lads that I looked up to because I thought they were cool. Do you get me? And then it kind of... Because Ringsend is so small, it's small town mentality, that they think that everyone thought I was big-headed, or like that I was like, I knew what I was doing.
Getting above yourself.
I was a fashionista or whatever. I was like, I just enjoy wearing this.
It's
not that deep, you know.
I remember one year we all had must have been 20 of us had the exact same jacket. Do you know what I mean?
That
you
white,
stood out even a little bit.
that white one, was it?
The white long.
The white one, yeah. Everybody had it for
Oh,
Christmas.
the Rihanna t-shirts. Remember the Rihanna t-shirt from
They were bleeding.
chinos,
They were long after. They were long after us. We were wearing like.
But like even
remember the box jeans?
The rip with the bear.
The rip with the bear jeans. Everyone used to wear them. No,
but now 90s fashion now is all back.
yeah,
Everyone's
like.
fucking wearing all the 90s.
To be honest with you, I'm wearing the same clothes I wore when I was young. Plain t-shirts and
Surprised it still
tracksuit,
fits
you know what I mean? I'm only a small man, I never grew, you know what I mean? We're just thinking there about fucking with the box jeans and all.
Yeah.
Remember the roller disco out and played in Dunleary?
Yeah.
We used to go out and fucking the garage on the way home and like it was we used to run amok, man.
Yeah, we went out to places in Stillorgan and all, like the under 18s discos.
Yeah.
And nagging a vodka in the back pocket. And they were the days.
They are, we used to go out to the roller disco, right? And it'd be
Top hat, was it?
the top hat. And you to be like boards from Dunleary, you'd be fucking in, you know what I mean? You'd be with boards. But I remember going out one time, right? And we were at to be trying to get into these boards, right? And next minute the fellas came or whatever, right? And there was more, right? And the bouncers were throwing us out. And there was a crew of us, right? So there was like, they opened the doors and then you walked through and there was other doors, you know? But they closed the doors and Anto, as soon as he closed the doors, we were behind the other doors, we couldn't get back in.
Yeah.
The doors opened, he was in bits. He was at the game battered by about bleeding 20 blokes. And he was like, yeah, we're outside and he started saying, I'm waiting for them, we're going to fucking kill them and all. And we were like, listen, there's about 40 of them. We're going now.
That would have been my worst nightmare, yeah.
We're getting on the train, we're going home, you know what I mean? And then I remember going back out with went down to the thing and got a bleeding crew and Stella and I went back out. It was fucking murder, man. Then the guard came, we're all hiding in the train station. Fucking. We were cunts, man. We just ran amok everywhere we went, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. But Anto got bleeding slaughtered.
But I think that just happens, isn't it? Like we were the same.
It's when you're growing up, you know what I mean?
It's just generations, it just gets different, doesn't it?
Yeah. We used to go up to Funderland and I'd be scrapping with people all the time. And
I remember we used to play and scrap the lads from the north side on the East Link Bridge.
Yeah.
But we'd all run at them and then they'd turn around and run and then they'd run into about 20 of their mates and then they'd have more than us.
Yeah.
And then they'd run at us
yeah.
and we'd all scarper off as well. It's like, what are we fucking doing, you know?
Remember they fucked some bloke off Ringsend Bridge one year?
I remember.
Not Ringsend Bridge, the Iron Bridge. Fucked him into the water. Like, he could have drowned. Like, he was only a kid. Someone had to jump into the water and get him out. Like, these were just... And it was over tyres.
Yeah.
Halloween, like, you kill each other.
Halloween tomorrow as well, yeah.
Tomorrow, fuck yeah.
There was one time, yeah, I was staying with my mate's gaff. Well, we'd arranged that we were staying with my mate's gaff and we were going to sneak out and go collect them.
Yeah.
And we'd heard that Pear Street had that stash in, what's that old chipper beside Marco? Beside Marco, the blue and yellow chipper. No,
beside Marco, I know. Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it. But apparently they had all that tyres in there. And we played 2 o'clock in the morning. We walked over towards Sheriff at first. There was guards there. They were like, yeah, the boys are all sitting on the tyres. Don't go near it. Just fucking unloaded them. So we went over to Pear Street then, fucking opened the shutout or whatever. And there was a lad cycling around, like obviously keep an eye. And we were playing fucking milling mini Bessies through Pear Street over the Iron Bridge in the rings end. And we get to the drain and there's phone calls. You better bring them fucking tyres back down. We're gonna come down and lump yourself and all blah blah. And we were all like, so me and 2 of the lads ran around to my ma's gaff. I'm standing outside my ma's gaff and I'm like, right, let's just run over to the Clan of Gale, run into Sandymount. They're not gonna be fucking near Sandymount. They're gonna come from Pear Street.
Yeah.
Get into Sandymount, we can make our way back around to the gaff or whatever. My mate's like, no. I'm like, come on. Next one I just hear on my ma's doorbell. My mate bottles it completely. I'm not gonna name and shame him.
Yeah.
And my ma fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, we're all covered in dirt from the tyres. My ma, what the fuck is going on? Get in here. I got grounded and all. I wasn't allowed to go to the fire or that. And I was gutted I was. 15. After all that effort, and my ma's driving the 2 boys home. They were telling me they were driving, they could see all the Pear Street lads on the train. And they were just driving by with their heads down, yeah.
Yeah, fuck's sake. No, when we were like, there was no mobile phones to ring us to say they're on their way. To be honest with you, we had a great crew, you know what I mean? We didn't give a bollocks.
Yeah.
Whoever came down, like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But
there's loads of little crews. But
yeah.
we needed
it. Yeah, everyone came together for Halloween, like, you know. You'd have
put
like
our differences to the side.
Yeah, listen, it's all for the greater good. We're gonna have a big bonfire. But you'd be playing battering people, like, and you'd be getting battered by people.
The bonfires
like,
were scary though. Like,
they were great,
they were great, but like people just got absolutely
bollocks,
fucking savage. Like they they ran amok, like too much gargle, too much whatever else.
Yeah.
And just scrapping for no reason and playing.
Yeah.
Bottles getting thrown over the fire and people getting pushed in close
into
to the fire.
Into the
fire and all. Yeah.
We were saying, like, one night that we were there on the bonfire, and we were sitting there at the, you remember where they played in, you know where the gym is now?
Yeah.
The track there, before the track was thing, do you remember that?
Stadium.
No? The stadium it was,
yeah.
Do you remember the stadium? Yeah. And played in the hill there. And we was sitting there and someone was saying, I thought I heard a car. I mean, the car came over their heads and into the fire. Someone gets over and then someone was saying, look, there's loads of computers in the back of that car. It's just, we were like, mad, you know? Like, you'd be sitting there and someone was saying, oh, it'd be great if you had a car, wouldn't it? Next minute someone just get up and go. And come back 20 minutes later in the car, you know what I mean? Onto the fire, like. But fucking.
Like Christmas, wasn't it?
Halloween was,
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Can't wait for Halloween. Yeah. And then you go out, have a few drinks, and someone, the old bill will come and nick you, bring you home, and you wouldn't even get to see the fire. Like, that happened to me so many years. Now I fucking hate Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a poxy bleeding
It is
time.
poxy, isn't it? So it's freezing cold.
Yeah. You're going now, all you're knocking on your door, constantly knocking on your door, trick or treat. Fuck off!
Well, I have a 4-year-old now, so I have to bring her around.
Fuck yeah, so. Jesus. So you had to dress up?
No.
You dress up as Barney. You wouldn't have to put any makeup on your face.
No. Hellboy. I don't fuck it. I used to dress up and I've done a few costumes growing up now, but I'm not into it. And same with fucking pyjamas on Christmas Day. The family matching pyjamas and all.
There's not enough tea in China to get me to do that. Fuck that, man. I don't give a bollocks.
Look, if you want to deal with your family and get the photos, that's cool. But that's what it is. Everyone's just fucking...
Everybody's
trying to be Instagram cool, like Instagram like. But don't get me wrong, there's nothing better than when you put up a picture, like especially with the podcast when we're doing it, and and an episode banged. Nothing better than that. You're like, fucking lovely, we done it. So I can understand why, but like for me, I'm just like, I'm just gonna be in my shorts and my jumper. Like, I'm happy out here. I don't need the validation from strangers.
No, fuck them, man. You know what I mean?
For Instagram posts,
especially the pajamas and all. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, you see some of them.
Me jocks anyway. I don't need fucking pajamas for the whole day.
You see couples there all happy and all. You know what I mean?
Probably all.
They're probably all doing probably both of them doing the dirt on each other. You know what I mean? Like, let's get in a video. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Cheese.
I love
fuck
you.
Off.
Yeah. Now fuck off. I go, now you're doing the dirt on me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Not even live together.
That's exactly it.
But like that's people are into that, all that image and all. You know
of
what
course,
I mean?
yeah.
Like what we post on thing and all. Like we don't have an image to keep up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just.
But that's what it is. As I said, it's like there is a fucking serotonin buzz off of when something bangs, you know, when you do it. Like I can admit, like when I done my TikToks with my daughter and I got a few fucking 1,000 likes or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. But at the end of the day, then it's just like I'm not into putting in the effort to keep it up.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like there's a few people, even social media influencers that we had on the podcast, like they're just constantly fucking churning out content.
Yeah.
And it's like, for like a thing that me and Bob are gonna do on the podcast we've done 3 episodes, the 41st review, where we go to like new pizza places or new restaurants or whatever, and you know do the recordings and do the voiceovers and me and Bob were talking about, and he's like, oh, do you think you'd be able to do that at this time? And I'm like, bro, I'm going to a restaurant with me missus and me baby. I'm not fucking wait, alright, don't eat your food yet.
Yeah, wait to take a picture.
Let me get the videos in, and you know, like my 4-year-old's gonna grab a film before I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's like people that do the content and all. I just can't imagine having my phone in my hand for that amount of time.
Yeah.
To record, like now, me and Bob do on the float. It's like a running series because the two of us are in the running. And even when I'm running down I'm waiting until I get into a park where there's not many people, and then I start recording my runnings and all. Because I'm like, I'm not a fucking. I don't want to look like a spa running down the canals with my phone.
Not self-conscious.
Yeah. Now look, people that can do it, it's cool. Like all power to you. But like you see them sometimes in town and all, like recording them. But like it's kind of like, especially with the running ones, right? They obviously put that phone down, run past it, and then they have to run back and get that phone again.
You know what I mean? If you're an amateur, you know. You have to do that. And they do like 30 shots. So they're in 30 different locations. So I don't really, like, they obviously put that phone up on a wall, run past it. I'm hoping
get one of them yokes, like a harness thing, you know what I mean? And run
I'm hoping someday someone just whips the phone off the wall, and then it's like,
see them running off with the phone, you know?
But look, but that's the thing, social media is fucking, like, people can make a livelihood off it now, you know? And especially, well, not in Ireland. I know there's no creator fund in Ireland, but in the UK and America and all, like, they get paid for TikTok views and stuff, you know. Even like we had a guy on for the 100th episode, Calton McLean, his name is. He's like a nature fucking influencer. He's kind of self-help. Like he told a story, a brilliant story from where he came from, what he's doing now. And it's not like it wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, like especially from like in a city like Dublin, like he's from the country or whatever. But he's great, does great content. But he's very much of the ilk of kind of just natural content, where it's not just, as I said, putting the phone down, running past it. But he gets millions of views and millions of likes on TikTok and Instagram, and he's like, I don't get anything from it because
you don't get paid.
You don't get paid, and he doesn't take much brand deals or anything. Like, he's very concise with who he works with and stuff like that, you know. But then I know other people like that we had on that are just, as I said, filtering it, like just putting out shite, and every day it's just something. And it's like, as I said, how can you be just sitting there thinking, like, just going, like, living your life through the phone?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
But as I said, more power to them. If that's the hustle.
Here, listen, you know, like, I wouldn't knock anybody that wants to get out there and put
like
themselves
we're
out
doing
there.
it now, trying to do it.
Yeah, we're trying to do it, you know. Look, there's people out there now that are looking at us.
It's no disrespect, it's just how, I just don't get how you can constantly be on trying to do that.
Yeah.
It has to be taxing on your mental health and your life. And
what about, like, if you're not getting paid for it, like, what work are you doing to get paid? Do you know what I mean?
You're getting brand work. You're getting brands sending you out free stuff and sending you to events, and it's just fucking ego boost, you know.
We want cash money. Fuck all that. Into the hand. Don't say nothing. Just a little brown envelope, you know what I mean? No, but like we like, if anybody wants us to wear our brands, give us a bell. It's not a problem. I have me Ray-Bans.
But that, like, even like when me and Bob were doing it, like, we reached out to a lot of people to kind of get on board for the sponsorship, you know. And we got Dublin Whiskey on, and our whole ethos was we wanted to work with companies that are in our with as I said, with the podcast, it's a thing of trying to big up Irish artists, not just in like the creative scene, but like just business or entrepreneurship, or you know, like, we've had chefs on, we've had YouTubers on, we've had actors, singers, musicians, DJs, fucking chefs, social media influencers, anything you can think of. And our whole thing was just to give people a platform to kind of say, this is where I started and this is what I'm doing now. Because as we said earlier, like, the whole concept of the podcast is having a chat and kind of understanding people and where they come from and how they got to where they are. And, you know, we've had some great, like, one of my favourites, and that kind of always sits with me, was Stephen Jones. Jonesy, his name is. He wrote and starred in a show called Northern Lights. It was picked up by TJ Carr. And it was done, I can't remember who the production was, I think it was like Universal or some big kind of production company or whatever. And he writes poems and like writes show, like fucking theatre shows and like the screenplays and stuff, And he was just such a cool storyteller.
Yeah.
Like even talking about his life and all, it just felt like we were in a story, and
it
was really cool to kind of to be sitting there, and we just kind of, I felt like I just listened to him for the hour. Like I didn't even feel like I needed to say anything or ask him any questions, because he was just so natural with it, and that was one that kind of stuck with me, you know.
Yeah.
And we've had a few that were a bit like not flops, but like you bring them in, you bring them in, and you think these are gonna be really,
we know,
these are gonna be great,
like
these are gonna like blah blah blah, and then you bring them on, and they're kind of trying to drag a conversation out of them. You know, and it's like, I won't say, like, I don't, because again, I don't want to bring anyone down or anything, but like some people like one guest that we had on, he's huge in what he does, and when we had him on, we're like, right, he's gonna be the funniest cunt ever. We're gonna have such a laugh, and he's just it's not so much an act, but like when he's just being himself, it's a totally different.
He's not funny. Yeah.
No, he is. He is funny, and he's a nice bloke, but you can tell there's a shift in how he
dials it down.
Yeah, when the camera, when the camera's on, he can do this, and then when it's off, he's just a normal bloke.
Yeah.
But we fully went in thinking this is gonna be the funniest thing ever. And it was a great episode. Like, and he's a lovely bloke and sound lad, and it was fucking great having him on. But I felt like it was a bit harder than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. We've had that, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say who it was, like,
of course,
whatever, we did have that, and we was like, but like,
that's it. You live and you learn.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Each
you know
episode,
what I mean? Like,
it's not next week after this episode goes. There's gonna be someone else sitting in this chair, and I'm gonna be a forgotten thought eventually. You know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing about it, and again with the whole kind of outlook on life and stuff, is like, you're just a thought for a minute.
Yeah.
And then people just go back into their own lives, and that's
15 minutes of fame or whatever.
15 minutes of fame. Yeah. That's exactly it. But you know,
someone might get something from the episode.
Of course,
That's the upside of it.
And that's exactly it. Like, that's what I got from it then. As I said, was that I learned a lot about myself, but then I also learned, like, I remember one guy texting me privately on my own Instagram. He was like, "What's the story, mate?" I know you don't. This is the only person that's ever done it. I'm not sitting here saying I get thousands of messages. Like, we're low level podcasts. Like, I wouldn't even call myself a podcast. I just have a podcast.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But like, the one bloke reached out and he was like, "Oh, I know you don't know me, but I came across your podcast and I think you're playing great, and you know, I love what you're doing. That episode with blah 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 really changed my opinion on whatever, you know." And I was like, that was really cool, you know.
Yeah.
As I said, it was the only one, but even say Craig Cooney we had on, he reached out to us. He was the only one to ever reach out to us. We reach out to everyone. I'm sure you know what it's like. But Craig, and we became really close friends after it. He reached out and he was like, "I love what you're doing, boys. I'm a rapper from Dublin. If you want me to jump on, I'd love to." And we're like, "It's Mason X's mate."
Right.
John Mason.
Yeah.
It's his mate, Craig.
Right.
And he reached out to us, you know, and that's it. Like, we reach out to thousands of people, you know. It's a tough job, you know.
We've reached out to a few people. They just didn't get back to us, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we asked someone, you know, and we thought, like, to be honest with you, I thought you would have jumped in,
of course,
you know. But it didn't work out that way. But like, we like. If there's anybody out there that wants to come on,
of course,
give us a bell, you know.
If there's anyone I know that you want to come on,
if you're anyone that you had on, if you want to
Yeah.
come on, like your man Mason's mate or whatever, you know. But
it's a platform for them also.
Yeah, like, you know,
that's what we wanted to get from it, was just these. No, I wouldn't even say lower level, because what is a level in kind of what you're doing?
Yeah.
If you love what you're doing, you shouldn't really care.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck what level.
You know,
you know,
obviously
man.
people want, as I said, the fame and the fucking status or whatever. But I always wanted to do music, say, growing up, but I was afraid to do it because all you done was play football.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going to Ballymun at college to do a music course, and I had to play an instrument and I had to sing, and it was the scariest thing in my life. But I went and done it, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't get in, and it was obviously tough to take, but I told no one about it.
Yeah.
I don't even think I told my man till after it.
Yeah.
I just got a bus up to Ballymun just to try and do it myself. Yeah, because I was afraid of what people thought me back then.
Yeah.
And then I talked to these musicians, and like, there's one guy, Chameleon, his name is, fucking unbelievable artist. Like, his album, he just released he released an album. I think part 2 was on the way, but I listened to the album first before I met him, because you know when you have someone on, you do a little bit of research on them or whatever, just to kind of get to know them a little bit. And I listened to the album. I was very much like very mute, like instrument heavy. There wasn't much singing in it or whatever. But then when he explained the kind of concept behind the album, I went and I listened to it again, and I was like, you understand, makes sense now.
Yeah.
It was kind of like this story, and I was like, at the very, as I said, when I listened to it first, I was like, I don't really know, like it's cool, well, it's good, like you done well, but I don't really get it. And then I listened to it the second time, and I was like, that's class. And it's the same accord to seeing Milo and Rebel Phoenix. I bought all their vinyls or their albums on vinyl, and trying to support them, like importing. We had the 2 boys, they're a Dublin-based fashion brand. Yeah. And the 2 lads are doing fucking unbelievable stuff now. Like they've had collabs with the Steelers from Pittsburgh, like when the American football was over.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They've done collabs with just the really cool people in the scene, you know. We've had fucking. Did you ever see that TikTok out? Weird Ireland. Have you ever heard of that? No. This Brinzy McNamara is that's not his real name. It's like his alias or whatever. I won't give his government name out. But he goes around Ireland and just kind of records all these weird things that like you see, like, and I'm like this. There's so much going on in this fucking country that deserves a platform, and like amazing people. Yeah, man. You know.
I know here, like you say, you know, they're just ordinary blokes, but you know when you get into talking to them and realise, jeez, man, you like, you remember Dara? Like we had Dara on, you know, and I just thought Dara, he's just a mad little yoke, you know what I mean? Like tattoos all over his head. I thought he was a space cadet, you know what I mean? Then you talk to him, the bloke is so switched on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the, like we were saying a couple of weeks ago, we were stuck in traffic or whatever, and I sent him a message, you know, and he sent a message back to me, but it was someone singing. It was an Oasis song, you know.
Yeah.
And then I said, who was singing that? And it was him.
Oh,
I was thinking to myself, Jesus, man, like, you know.
His brother Ado's a good singer.
There you go, like, you know. But they're gonna come on. I think they're gonna come on together. They're doing some collaboration, you know what I mean? I'm not too sure exactly what they're doing.
Not the full. Won't give you the full.
Yeah, no, like I don't know, you know what I mean? But this is just a message he sent me, and he said he'd come on sometime with him, and he, you know, they'll talk about it or whatever, you know. But like even Alex was saying like about Ado, you know, he's like he's fucking. Yeah, he's a good singer.
But as I said, like it's these creative people that are out there that like, and like you might be watching this now and thinking you don't know any of them, but what I tried to get across the podcast is like go and listen to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Cause like everyone needs a break eventually, you know, like and like there's some amazing talent, as I said, like, and not even people that we haven't had on, like there's so much. The Dublin, I don't know what it is, if it's because like I always kind of I remember you had Costello on, and he was like old school Irish hip hop. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say I was into all of that when I was younger, but I do remember hearing of Costello. So I would have probably looked at him as the OG.
Oh, 100%,
but I wouldn't say I'm not gonna sit here and say rap off all of his songs or all of his lyrics or whatever. Yeah. But he is someone that obviously had a bit of status in the scene for me to have heard it when I wasn't kind of looking for it, you know. But like, I think with the world now and the way technology has gone, I think these creative people can create amazing stuff. Like we had the director, producer on, Cian Bulger, his name is. Some of the videos he's done for the likes of Courtesy or a bloke called Death to Ricky, it's like amazing work. Yeah. And I'm kind of sitting here like, he should be up here in like whatever status that like that level of what he's putting out he should be up there, but you know there's not enough government funding or there's not enough for the arts or whatever, and I do think in the budget
there is,
but not enough, you know, especially when there's fucking 9 billion in the kitty for fucking rainy days or whatever, you know? And
bike sheds.
And like that's like, especially with Dublin City, like I've seen a thing there recently, there's only 20 nightclubs or something now. Yeah. There used to be 150 or whatever it was. And like we've had fucking Sunil Sharp on, big techno DJ, and like probably one of the pioneers for Dublin or for Ireland. And he's runs a campaign called Give Us the Night, where it's like people in the music industry and like the nightlife of Dublin has died on its fucking knees.
Yeah.
And here's this man who's he only played mixes on vinyl. And like that's a fucking like if you're a DJ, you know how difficult it is.
We were talking about on this, you know, about going to raves.
Yeah.
We went to see the DJ because he was mixing on vinyl.
Yeah.
And mixing like nowadays. That's what we were saying about thing when he's a DJ. Do you mix like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mallow, you know what I mean? Because you see these all now giving her all their business, you know what I mean? Like it's.
But even Mallow, like what he's doing with that fucking night rendezvous. Like they're doing unbelievable, like those events sell out in minutes, and there's still such a small collective of people trying to bring this culture back to Dublin. And it's like, and even Index and fucking whatever else is out there now at the minute, there's not much, like it's so hard to compete that like you just don't get anything. Like even say your man Fred again is playing now on Saturday, big huge, like, and he's playing in the RDS, he could have sold out the Tree Arena, and everyone's looking for tickets. Now, Fred again is a fucking genius at what he does. I'm giving him his flowers, but where's the love for all the Irish DJs? They're not as good because, as I said, Fred again, I believe is a fucking modern day Mozart or whatever you want to call him. He's amazing at what he does. But where's the love and the support for all the underground Irish acts? They need that support to move their careers forward. But you're willing to fucking stand in a queue of 10,000 people to try to get tickets to Fred again. Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's English. Like he done all like Ed Sheeran albums and he does stuff with Skepta, and like he's a big, really cool dude, and he's great at what he does. And I always say it's the same as like Ireland games as well in the Aviva. When we're playing fucking San Marino, you get tickets like that. But we're playing Portugal now next month and it's sold out because Ronaldo's there. Yeah. And everyone's going to see Ronaldo. It's like that's again what I was trying to bring with the podcast was there is so much energy and creativity and amazing people in the scene and in all aspects of any scene in Dublin, like fashion, music, whatever, arts, and they're not getting the recognition they deserve. And that's the sad reality of it, and that's kind of what I was trying to pioneer with the podcast was we want to showcase the talents of Irish acts and like what they're doing, and you know, we tried our best, and like it's still there, and I'd hope that a lot of people, like again, Courtesy's probably the best example. Like, when we got him on, I think he had like 6k followers. He's up to 20k now. Now that's not from us. Like, no, I don't want people to think, because he came on my podcast. But it's because of how good he is. Yeah. And he's doing like, and the people behind him are just as good. It's just it's either a TikTok fucking song to go viral, or you put in the years of graft and hope that you get there. But you don't get there without the support.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
And that's the issue for me, anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to pioneer, you know. Like I wanted to do music, but I didn't have it in me. And now I get to meet all these cool musicians, and I would love for them to do well.
Do well, yeah. Come on, Billy Big Boss podcast. We'll get you out there.
Straight to stardom.
We've 5,000 followers, not 1,000.
5,000 after this.
We'll have 50,000 after this, after having you on, you know what I mean?
No.
Fuck's sake.
Definitely not. But
yeah.
But now, look, as I said, like we're looking to relaunch the podcast soon, and I'm just, you know, I'm trying to, I don't know about yourself, but as I've gotten older, I know you're talking about getting older. I wish I could go back to when I was a young fella and just tell myself, like, do the consistent stuff.
Yeah.
Be consistent, find something you love, and don't care about what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
Because, like, say for the podcast, for example, if I had started that 10 years ago, I'd be 10 years doing a podcast. Yeah. Who knows where I could have been. But I didn't start until 2020, after 2020. Yeah. Oh no, not even 2020. What, fucking 2025 now. What was it, 2023 we started? But like, so that's 2 years when it could have been 10 years. Yeah, right. And that's because, now that's not to say it would have been a podcast 10 years ago, because I didn't know what a podcast was 10 years ago. I think Joe Rogan was the OG fucking podcast. I think he's the one that kind of pioneered it. But if I had done something creative back then, you know, who
knows where you'd be
Who knows where I would have been now. But I bottled it, basically,
Listen.
External thing, and internal as well. It was fear for I just didn't have the bottle in me, you know.
Yeah. But you're where you're supposed to be.
Of course, yeah. Like that's what I believe in. Is like your life is mapped out for you, you know. And the way my life turned out was that I'm this person now, and now I'd rather have the insights now at 31 of not giving a bollocks than still hiding. Because
listen, you know, if you did, like, it's like for everybody, you know.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? But like we were saying a few minutes ago, like you get to a certain stage where you just don't give a bollocks.
Exactly, yeah.
And like,
it's even with like,
like you say, I'd love it to be like that when I was playing.
Of course,
15 or 20.
But that's just how life runs around, isn't it? And even now with like the running and going to the gym and all, you know, I would have been one of those people where I'm like, fuck the gym, like fuck running and all,
what's the gym gonna do?
Exactly, and now I'm in the gym about 8 weeks now. And I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at myself now. I'm like, you fucking idiot! You could have done it. You know, I see you in the gym as well. You'd be playing.
Like I went, like say, I don't know, 15 years ago. I just kept going to the gym. I met a board, and then you know you meet the board, you just forget about yourself. Like you know what I mean. You don't need to fucking. You don't need to try or whatever. You know what I mean.
Eat more chocolate.
Yeah, eat more chocolate.
You still eat cheese sambos and Kinder Buenos after the gym.
That's my staple diet. That's my nutrition advice
after the gym walkout. Cheese sambo.
Cheese sambo.
And a Kinder Bueno.
Kinder Bueno. Fuck's sake.
Love it.
You know, that's like, see that's stuck with me. I said that to Alex about playing 15 years ago, for fuck's sake, and people still say it to me. But you know, fucking Alex he's a fucking, like we were saying a couple of weeks ago, we were talking to him in the gym, and I'd walk away and I'd be thinking, this fucking buzzing on me. But it's just the way he goes on, you know.
It's like, hard to understand that he's taking the piss out, isn't it?
When he's talking to me, I don't know whether he's joking with me or not, you know what I mean? Like that thing with Mallow and all, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's a fucking 7-inch Mickey and all this, you know what I mean? Like roller skating and all, you know. And then your man Mallow's here and I said, so the roller skating was a lie as well,
Well, did he get his Mickey out? Just cut that
out. We put his Mickey in the keep cup.
But even like with Alex and what Alex and Casey done, you know, like from Rings End, I remember having Alex, I don't know if we talked about it on the, I'm sure we did, but when Whopper Trips came out, and like how old were they? About playing 18, like you know?
probably young,
probably younger,
16 or something. You know?
So I would have been about in my early 20s, probably just 19, 20. I remember saying it, being like, "Jesus, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, what the fuck, like you know? I know the two boys a little bit. I wouldn't have been close, but like I knew of them and then you see it and you're like, that's. But I remember they got a lot of stick for it, you know.
Yeah.
But that's prime example of stick to your guns and fuck what anyone thinks.
Yeah,
you know?
look what way it turned out for them.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Like,
you know.
But that's how I got into the videos. I met them in the gym and they were going on about playing. Look at this, and they were showing me that Whopper thing, and I was like, I thought it was good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he said, listen, we're doing a yoke. Do you want to jump in? I jumped in the Amber Leaf, man. And I just blew up.
Yeah.
Like you're going every time, Amber Leaf, you know, like, look who it is, you know what I mean? Fucking, she goes out with a red top and all, you know? But then it just his videos, and then they just blew up.
Yeah, Catman fucking done mad numbers, like.
You don't know, you never know.
Yeah.
Blow up.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I'm saying, Yeah.
It just, you know, it just clicks with people, and then you go, oh yeah, he is actually a funny cunt, you know.
Even with, like, as I said, with artists, like if a TikTok song blows up, that's all you need, you know. And that's the sad reality of it, whether you're good or not.
Yeah.
Like you might, and even like people struggle after that first one. So they can't make something good.
Yeah, it's good,
And that's a hard reality to go through as well, I'd imagine. Like you put out a song that gets millions of plays or whatever, and then the next song
nobody's into
stinks, like, you know. It's a funny old game, isn't it?
It is, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like people like it on its day and other people don't, you know.
But that's it. I just feel like with the podcast again, it was when I started it, I was like, the one thing I want to do was just consistency.
Yeah.
Because that's all. That's whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a following by just being consistent. Like people will eventually, whether they like it or love you, that you're gonna get a group of people that are gonna like what you put out, and a group of people that aren't gonna like. But it's them consistent. Like you put it. I never missed an episode.
Yeah.
Now Bob, he had things going on in his life that he had to miss. But for me, I remember doing one episode where I was just by myself talking into a fucking mic in the studio, not even a camera on me, just trying to talk into a mic, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
it's not easy.
No, it's not, man.
Like people don't realise it. You know, do you think you just sit here and just now it comes,
I'm at them in splitting buckets for the last 20 minutes, but I'm cool now.
Well, like it just like now it just comes not naturally, but you know what I mean. But when we did the first episode, like I must have said, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
About 1,000,000 times. Like it's just, do you know what I mean? Like this, you know what I mean? Do you know? And it just, and then even when we had Alex on, he was like, you know, if you could take a drink every time Billy says, you know what I mean, you'd be bleed stuck at after 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
100%.
But 100%, yeah. So look, you know.
Yeah.
But you get used to it.
Yeah.
Like I probably do say, you know what I mean, a few times, but I don't.
It's just
say
a Dublin
it as
thing,
much.
though, isn't it?
I think it is a Dublin thing.
It's just a Dublin thing.
You know,
I say, you know.
It's a slogan.
It's a slogan for the podcast, I suppose. Yeah. Like
That's what we call Bob. Did you know what I mean, like fella? Because he says it all the time.
He says it all the time.
Yeah. And I'm actively trying to not say it at the end of my sentences because like I can come out with it a few times, but I am aware of it in my head. Like, but Bob just fucking at the end of every. I think he says it 6 times in one sentence. You know?
So I don't feel it's bad.
No.
You know
It is. It's just a Dublin thing. Honestly, it's just a Dublin thing.
I know, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Like even fucking, we had Toig on it a few weeks ago. And he was saying the same thing. He must have said it, you know what I mean, 1,000,000 times.
Yeah. It's just how it goes, isn't it? It's just the chat.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like.
So what, you having the podcast? What's the story? Is coming back on now? Is it? Or
Well, we're
re-engaging?
Yeah, we're both kind of. There was a few weeks where we just kind of. My brother was home from Australia and he was dealing with his new baby boy, you know.
Yeah.
And it would kind of just, not that it fell off, but we just kind of, life just got in the way, you know?
Yeah.
And that's cool, like, that's fine. Like, there's nothing you can do about it when life gets in the way, but we're both kind of in a place now where he's kind of ready to come back into the fold, and I'm always ready.
Yeah.
When I put my name to something, I really want to make sure that at least I put 100, I can sit here and say I put 100% effort into the podcast every week.
Yeah.
Making sure guests were available. I used to send out the briefs. I used to upload the YouTubes. I done a lot of the work, you know.
Yeah.
Bob's more he likes to say he's the creative person. And
that's what I am. Is that right, Frankie?
And I'm like I'm the cogs in the machine, you know. I'm the one that keeps it boiling over. And like that's our both of our jobs, you know. But it got to a point where I was kind of like, look, I've done enough here, like to relaunch. I'm leaving it up to you. Yeah. And whenever you're ready, like give me a shout. Yeah. Like whenever it's ready to relaunch, I'm there. But I just, you know, it's burnout for a reason, you know.
Yeah,
you do enough and constantly stressing over it and constantly worried not worried, but like, are we doing enough? Are we doing things right? Yeah. But it's all a learning. Yeah. Is it worth it? Yeah, you know. And like sitting here now, as I said, it has been worth it. Yeah. You know, I've got to meet amazing people. I'm sitting here now because of it. And I get to talk and people will listen whether they like it or not. Yeah. And I'd hope that I can make some sort of an effect on people's lives and how they think about things. But that was the main, like what I realised was the main goal was what I got from it. Yeah. Internally. And I've definitely become a better person because of it, you know. Yeah. Like as I said, you meet people that were like they're found like one bloke his dad died at a young age and how he went through that. Like my story, my dad was locked up for my whole life because of drugs, turned it around, and now we have a great life. Yeah. Like we have a great relationship together. Like we've had people that were signed to a label and got dropped. We've had and then all the trials and tribulations of this world that we just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Even like let's say for example the three of us are sitting here now. In about an hour and a half, we're going to be back in our gaffs. We'll probably never speak to each other again. Yeah. You know, and that's not a bad thing. Not in a sense of I don't want to do it, but just in a sense of unless you want me on for part 2, I'm probably never going to see us again. Do you get me? Yeah. And that's what a lot of people get when it comes to life and and the world is. There's so much, as I said, there's 24 hours in a day and you don't see any of it. Like my best mate is over in, as I said, my best mate is over in Berlin. I don't see him unless he comes home for a visit or I go over to visit him. But like I'm comfortable enough to know that we're always going to be friends.
Yeah.
And the same with the boys. Like I live up in Drimna now. I might as well be in fucking Berlin.
Yeah.
But I don't get upset with the lads for that. Because they have their kids, they have their lives, they just want to.
That's just friendship.
You don't need to. But that's what a lot of people will get upset about. Is like, you're not there for me. And it's like, right, you don't think I'm there for you, but when did you reach out?
Yeah.
How am I can't sit at home with a fucking crystal ball
and go, well,
how is
doing today?
Let me check in on me mate James, and he's having a wank in the toilet.
Yeah.
Get
Put that crystal ball away.
Yeah. But you know, and it's the same. Like, and I feel like a lot of people, we are all the same, and I'm a big believer in generational trauma. You know, I believe that all the issues that we kind of go through is dripped down through generations.
100%.
You know, like without getting into too much detail, I spoke about my grandfather earlier. He passed away there 2 years ago, but he was a great man to me.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, you know, as I said, he raised me. Him and my nanny raised me, and he was great to me. You know, and my ma told me like she'll never forget a day where she walked in from work and I was sitting on his lap watching cartoons on the telly.
Yeah.
But it was a Saturday afternoon, and all she remembers growing up was the horse racing was on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And now you had to walk on eggshells to go through the gaff.
Yeah.
But I never seen him that like.
Yeah.
Now I did see him in a sense of, you know, he was anarchy bollocks, you know. He could have his time. You know.
Yeah.
But for me, like, he done a lot for me growing up, and I always love him for that. But I do see what he done to the family.
Yeah.
And now from the 3 kids that he had and the relationships with their kids.
Yeah.
Now I was lucky. My mum was not, like, I have 2 uncles, so they probably got the worst of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know my Uncle John, his story.
Yeah.
And now their relationships with their kids, like me and my ma are great, but me and my dad weren't great for a long time. But then as I got older, I was like, man, he was fucking 26, bashing out a bit of fucking drugs or whatever, making a mint out of his nut all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
He wants to be stuck with a kid.
Yeah.
I feel there's down to you when you're a kid and your relationship.
Yeah, exactly,
You make you better.
Yeah. But I can admit that I've been on the session and I've left me missus in the gaff for 3 days without being home.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there like, why should I stick around for you?
Yeah.
And then I put myself into my dad's shoes.
Yeah.
I'm not playing bashing out at him, but I'm on the session. I was on the session as a young fella growing up, so I put myself in his shoes. Like, he was obviously making a lot more money than I was.
Yeah.
So add in the money on top of the drugs. Why the fuck would you want to be sticking around for your kids or whatever? Or, as you said. And then he gets nicked. He gets put away. He fucking gets clean in prison.
Yeah.
Turns his life around, and now we have a fucking amazing relationship. But that did affect me. But affected me as a kid, you know, because as I said earlier, I didn't know what it was like to have a father figure. Even though I had my brother and my granddad, it wasn't my dad, you know.
Yeah.
But now, as you said, I've my little girl, and I want to do everything, and that's why I'm fucking looking after my head, looking after my body, doing things, and like she always asks me before if I'm going out. She's like, oh, where are you going? I says, I'm going to the gym. And she's like, what's the gym? And I'm like, it's where you get strong. And, you know, and then she's like, yeah, and she does her stretches with me in the mornings. You know, it's those things, like, I want to be the generation that breaks that chain of the trauma, you know. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people in our lives that we love that were affected by, you know, especially with my granddad's generation, what they went through with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
You know, what happened to them, and coming home and being told you don't talk about the priest like that, or you know.
We
and
were
then,
just at the tail end of that.
And then it drips down to your parents, and then they're coping with the abuse through drugs and alcohol, and then that gets dripped down to us, and we go out and abuse. But I think our generation was just smart enough to think, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I want to, but not everyone is. And
No.
That's the sad reality is, like, some people are still stuck in this loop of drug use and alcoholism and like, and this whole thing of mental health, but like they're not. They're just using it as a gauge to be like, oh, I'm struggling just to get away with what they done.
Yeah.
Whereas real people are really struggling. And look, I'm not fucking therapist to say your trauma is right, your trauma is wrong.
Yeah.
But you need, like, what people need to do is just drop their ego, drop that fucking wall that's there, that they're trying to protect their livelihood or whatever. Like, everyone understands what everyone's going through. It doesn't need to be a big secret. You don't need to hide behind that. Just explain to someone, like, this is what's going on and I want to change it.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as that.
Yeah. I know.
And it'll take like your man Mark Manson that I was talking about. He put up a quote. I always share his quotes on my Instagram, so you'll probably see them go moving forward.
Yeah.
But he put up a quote saying, "No one is responsible for your pain. Only you are responsible for turning it around." And it kind of struck me. It was like, it's right.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm going through is no one else's fault but mine. In my head, like, obviously there's people that are abusive and they're probably the main, but if you don't cut them out of your life, then that's how you release that pain. Is like, that's how you move away from it, is just being strong and moving away.
I know.
And no one's everyone feels like they have this fucking thing in life that they're owed something.
Yeah.
The world has been around.
The world fucked me. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But it's like, did you ever hear your man, the Streets? Did you ever hear that song,
Mike
Stay
Skinner.
Positive?
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not your fault, the world fucked you up, you know, all this, like... Yeah, that's what you go around thinking, like, when you're on drugs and all shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, like you say, you know, you have to drop the ego and take responsibility for your own bleeding.
Exactly,
your own fucking feelings, basically, you know what I mean?
And look, it's difficult to do that, but if anyone takes anything from this podcast is, and like, I'm not this whole mental health guru therapist that I fucking know the ins and outs of the brain, and you know, I do feel like depression is can be a chemical imbalance in people's brains, but in probably 90% of these depressive stages of people's lives, it's more just self-deprecation than it is actual what's going on. And all it takes it, and I'm sure Dano talked about it as well, was like, just go out for a walk, go out for a run, hit the gym. You don't have to be the best at it. Like, even with me running, I can run at a nice pace, but I run with a bloke here on his name. He was actually a podcast guest. He was around the corner from me. He's a musician. He runs at like a 4:45 pace per kilometre, and I'm only at like 5:40. So I'm trying to keep up with him, and he stays kind of a bit back with me. Yeah. But I'm not like, I'll still go out on the runs with him every Tuesday and Thursday, because I'm not afraid to say to him, I can't run at your pace, slow it down. I just run at my pace, and then he slows down. And it's not like, I'm not saying, right, how am I going to get as fast as him? Yeah. How am I going to get to where he is? We're just two mates out on a run. Yeah. And it's the same, like, I seen people done the marathon there, and they were like, upset with their times. Like, you just ran 42.2 kilometres. Yeah, like, be proud of that.
Yeah, man.
Like, there's elite athletes for a reason. Like, because they're elite. Like, if there's anything that I would like to portray myself as, it's just an average Joe. So
100%.
And I'm happy with that. Because, as I said, the world owes you nothing. Yeah. And I always say the sun's going to rise every morning, regardless of what you do or what you say. And, you know, and then eventually we're going to be gone. And that's it. Yeah, exactly. You know, curtains closed. Yeah. I'm not a big religious person. I'd be agnostic. It's like, there's not enough evidence for me to believe in a higher power or a God or whatever. Yeah. So when people talk about going to heaven and all, I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. But for me, I just know it's lights out. Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I believe anyway. Now, if God was to come down and say, oh, look, I'm here, I'm real. I'd be like, oh, cool, now I can believe in you. Yeah.
But convenience.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. But that's just, and it scares me sometimes as well. Like, it really does. The fact, like, I sometimes be sitting there having a cup of tea with my missus, and I'm just like, I'm going to be gone one day. And that's it.
I used to have them thoughts, you know, like
you get me?
when I go, like what's going to be the, you know what I mean, the end of the world, all this show, you know what I mean? Like, but
it's fucking scary,
you know what I mean? Like,
so that's why I just like the fucking
fuck it, man.
Yeah,
like
that's what I've learned.
What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, why stress about it?
Do you remember where you were before you were born?
Yeah, that's what happens when you die. Yeah,
that's where you go.
Yeah.
Wherever that is.
Yeah, back in their dad's balls.
Yeah.
Into someone else.
There you go.
But now that's it, you know, and that's what I've learned kind of from the podcast is, you know, there's a lot to be happy about and there's a lot to be sad about, and you just take them as they come.
Yeah. No,
and if you're sitting on an idea that you think, I'm not sure,
just do it.
Just fuck it, like as Nike said, just do it, you know.
Yeah.
And don't be like people that will support you are the people that you keep close to you. Like people that laugh at you are the ones that just say, right, then if that's what you think, then either block me or don't talk to me.
Yeah, like
if you're not here to help, then I don't need you.
Yeah, we don't need you. Exactly. Yeah, and like that's the way we are now. You know.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna fucking, if you've nothing positive to say, just put your mouth shut. You know.
Yeah.
Because like I admire people like you, like me, like, you know, to get up off their arse and do something.
Yeah.
You know, but and there's people like you see these videos all the time. There's people there. Look at this fucking idiot. Look what he's doing and all. You know, like slagging them and all. Just give him a bit of support, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, like
support costs nothing.
Yeah, like
a like and a share.
I do see people putting up videos, right? There's actually a bloke, and I think he mentioned that he was fucking drug dealer or something shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And he does all these videos about sometimes he does like a food review, or he do like he's a plasterer or something, you know. And he's saying, like, he's getting these comments of people, you know, saying, oh yeah, you forget what you used to be and all this. No, that's what I used to be. Like, I'm not forgetting what I used to be. I know what I used to be. This is what I am now. Like, why can't people, you know, I've seen a thing and it says, you know, people bleeding can't talk about you. They say saying something that you did in 1992 or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, just give people support. Just support them, you know what I mean?
And if you don't want to support them,
that's cool as well. Don't
just move on. There's so much more out there that you can put your energy into.
Yeah, you can go and fucking.
Like I remember about the hate comments we got on TikTok. It was like, who are these nobodies? And it was like podcast equipment should be more expensive. And I'm like, all right, I haven't heard that one before.
That's a good one, all right, yeah.
But it's like, it is expensive. Like, I don't know where you're getting this idea that it's not expensive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who are these nobodies? And it's like, you're on a fake profile on TikTok, mate. Like,
you're
the nobody.
333 or something.
Yeah. And like, as you said, whether this podcast, my podcast or your podcast does anything, you know, that kind of like what people obviously look at you doing something, they're like, right, well, he has to go on and do millions of views and thousands of plays and blah, 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 whatever. But at the end of the day, what I think you will come to realise is, as I said, the experience that you get from meeting people is much more than anything else.
Yeah, look at here.
And you know, people will sit in the pub like and talk about you and give you a stick and blah, 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 but at the end of the day, they're not doing that.
They're the same people that sit in the pub every day, all day, every day, you know, and they'll fuck all. They say, look at you're fucking dope, you're this, that, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah, like I've been out there a few times and the people talking. You're talking this, blah, blah, blah. And then an hour later, I'll come back out after having a sniff and a drink. Your bleeding podcast is dead. Do you ever see his podcast?
Yeah.
Fuck off, man. But 5 minutes ago, I was a prick. You know
I guarantee you, if, and I hope it does, your podcast goes to heights that are out of the realms of what you think are, or whatever, you know, that the people that are giving you a stick will be like, oh, I know Billy.
Yeah.
That sound that famous bloke? I know him. I grew up with him. But he's calling you a dickhead because it's not big.
Yeah.
But people don't understand what it is that you do. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're not getting anything from it.
Yeah.
It's you're meeting new people, you get to talk about your life and you get something from it, and that's all that matters.
It's therapy for me.
Yeah.
It really is.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and then other people come on and then you listen to them talk and you know, it's like, I didn't know that about him, I didn't know you.
You're expanding your
horizon.
Expanding your horizon, big time, yeah. And like, it's like you were talking about empathy, like it's giving me more empathy for people, because like the guests that we had on, you know.
Like
Gwen, like, you know, she was a blading, like, her fucking story, man, you know, that was blading. A hard one, you know what I mean? She was the domestic violence. You know,
I didn't watch that episode now.
But she's she's getting great recognition now. She's ITV are doing an interview with her.
That's what you wouldn't get that experience. You wouldn't get that knowledge of what happens to women behind closed doors without talking to her.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's what you think.
Yeah.
But you don't know until you hear it, and it's this like you know, there's this whole movement of not all men, but we don't know which men.
Yeah.
And it's like I got upset about that from the start because I was like, I'm a good person, and I know like if I'm walking down the street, I will cross a road if it's the middle of the night and there's a woman in front.
Yeah.
And that's
just
what
to give what it is.
That's what I would do. And when I was getting upset about it, and then the more I kind of dug into it, I was like, I'm looking at this from a man's perspective. I'm not looking at it from a woman's perspective. When they say not all men, but we don't know which man.
Yeah.
But it's so true because it could be anyone.
Yeah.
And like as you said, with that girl with the domestic violence, 99% of the time it's people that they know.
Yeah.
Or people that are close to them that are doing it.
Yeah.
It's not just around. Like,
obviously
there are random attacks, and that's also sad. But 90% of the time, it is people that they know and that they trust. And like I have a little girl now grown, and that's probably part of the reason why I look at it this way now, because I have to fucking navigate her life for her, and I don't know when she's fucking 16, 17, she brings home a little prick. Whether he's gonna is he gonna be sound, is he gonna be a little wanker, and these are the trials and tribulations, and you know we have to you have to see it for what it is. And you know, when women speak up about shit like that, and even like with everything that goes on in the world, like when people speak up about their issues and that, like that, they're coming from a place of it happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, and it can happen to anyone else, and you have to sit there and accept that, like, we're kind of lucky as straight white men that we can kind of walk that, like, but, and that's not to say, like, well, I could get randomly attacked after leaving here, you know. But there's more likely of a chance of a woman getting randomly attacked, you know. And
that's the good thing about the platform that you and we have, is to give people like that voice. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
of course.
But just you know, you have to navigate life with a certain kind of way of thinking, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not all about you, and that's what a lot of people think.
That's you hit the nail on the head there. But that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
It's all about you. It's not all about you.
No, it's not.
That's what you have to. You know, in your own head, it is all about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to break that, you know.
Yeah.
You don't like.
Drop your ego.
Your ego, exactly. Yeah, like. Yeah, man. Or like, you know, in the last year or so, I've done a lot of reflecting on shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like. Yeah. Like for a good few years, like my confidence was gone. You know what I mean? I was like. Now it's back, you know what I mean? Like, looking.
But how did you do that? How did you bring it back?
I just looked at myself, you know what I mean? Kind of went into myself and thought, like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, you put up with this and you did that and you just snap out of it.
Yeah. But you changed it.
Yeah, I changed it, I started going back to the gym and start getting. Well, I find the gym gives you plenty of confidence, you know
that's
what I mean?
It's the natural dopamine.
Yeah, you know, it's like
I know your story growing up, you know. You would have had a lot of the fake dopamine hits from drugs.
Yeah.
And I was watching some guy on TikTok, and he was talking about cocaine and the dopamine effect that you get from doing a line. And even the dopamine effect you get before you take a line, because you know you're going to take it.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000% more. So when we do the gym or we go for a run, that natural dopamine high that we get is like 200, say. I don't know what the units are or whatever. Yeah. But one fucking line of cocaine is 1,000.
Yeah.
So when your brain is constantly being flooded with all this dopamine and then it crashes, that's when it hits hard. Yeah. And then it's hard for the natural dopamine to get back to giving you something for yourself, you know. Yeah. And that is an issue with a lot of people. And look, if you can balance it and kind of, as you said, self-reflect and understand this isn't healthy for me anymore. This is. Yeah. You can. It's a balancing act, you know.
Yeah, it like, you know.
A lot of people go down the wrong road, and look, it's heartbreaking for some people, but I think especially with, say, the likes of Dano, you know, looking at it and saying, this isn't right for me anymore, and then just cutting it out. I have a lot of fucking credit for him for doing that, you know.
Oh, like, you know, like we did it ourselves, you know.
Of course,
Like we had to, you know, like we were talking about this last week, you know, you get to a certain age and you're thinking like,
my body's just not able for that anymore.
You know, you see folks in their 50s now, right? And they're taking coke, man, taking heart attacks and all, you know what I mean? Like, well, like, I take too much coffee and I do be at home paranoid, the bits of my heart just be going mad, I do be like, you're going to take a heart attack, you know what I mean?
Ring Nescafe again.
Yeah.
But look, I think it's a young man's game, you know, and I would never deter any young fellas growing up, you know. You have to make the mistakes and
big time.
And go through it. Like, it's just, unfortunately, it's part of Dublin culture now. Like, we were all drinking when we were 15, moved into drugs at 17, probably earlier, and then from 18 to bleeding 31, you're fucking flat out. Like, going to Ibiza, going to Amsterdam, doing all, and look, amazing fucking times. Don't get me wrong, like, they were the best times of my life, but now I'm like, I'm 31 now, even if I have 3 points, I'm fucked for the week, you know. And that's something that, and you know, that's what I've kind of, for a long time, I was afraid of getting old. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I always, like, and I still think I'm a young fella, you know, I'm 31.
I know, I'm just saying.
We all, you know, like, and you'll always feel like a young fella, but the body doesn't fucking, doesn't.
When you're only 31, when are you getting a 50?
I know.
Fuck's sake,
and that's what I mean, sitting here chatting to you, is like, I'm prepared. But what I've done now is I'm just preparing myself. I'm realised and accepted that I'm just getting old now. And I just don't have that in me anymore. Because I remember talking about that Budapest stag do. We were in the apartment and I was fucking falling asleep on the sofa and the boys kept waking me up. Come on, Ryan, we're on the session, like, stop fucking sleeping. And one of the boys goes, lads, this is the first time Ryan's fallen asleep on a holiday in about 6 years. Let him fucking sleep. And then that comment kind of flipped the switch in my head where I was like, holy shit, I am a bit of a fucking wild cunt. Like, I take it too far, you know, and I need to cut it out. And then since then, I've picked and chosen my time. I don't just go to the pub on a random Friday anymore and stay out till Monday, you know. I can't fucking do it, especially with the baby, you know. And I don't need to do it. I've nothing to prove anymore. When I was a young fella, I thought I had so much to prove to me.
I can take
Ryan's a legend.
I can stay out.
Ryan's a legend. Ryan can stay out for days. And I thought that's what I wanted in life. Then, as I said, I got older and I'm like, I'm happy, I'm content with my life now, being healthy and having my daughter and being quiet, you know.
I know, same as well. Like, I've no interest in taking drugs, you know what I mean? We'll smoke a bit of hash. Drink a bit of blade.
Nothing wrong with a bit of green though, like, you know.
I don't even smoke grass.
Green, no.
Just hash.
Just hash.
You know, the grass kind of fucking... the grass nowadays is too strong. It really is.
The Cali packs.
The Cali, like, it's send you off here. It's like being on LSD or something, you know what I mean?
I seen it recently. I won't say who it was, but they were in Spain. You'd know them. I'll tell you after. You'll probably know when I tell you that you'd say a story. But it was a pizza box, and he opened it up, and it's a slice of pizza, but it's like a plastic, and he opens the pizza, and there's a load of grain in it. And it's like that was the packaging that the weed came. I was like, that's fucking, and they're coming bleeding GTA cases and all now. Fucking mental, like. But what happened to Ziploc bags? You know?
Fuck's sake. What happened to tinfoil? Fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Lumps of hash and tinfoil, that's plastic, cellophane, you know what I mean? Nowadays it's all like sophisticated. The fella gave me a yoke there a while ago and there was a little plastic thing, you know, you screw the top, but I had Air Clear and all on the side of it, you know.
Like a prescription pill bottle.
And the fucking, the towers and all and the rings ends, you know what I mean? Like, fucking...
How much money are they putting in the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How much money are they making out of it? They must be making an absolute fortune out of it, you know.
So what's next?
For yourself, you know, I do miss the podcast, obviously, but I want to go out and do something by myself. So I have a few ideas to maybe start a clothing brand.
Right.
I have a few ideas that I want to put on t-shirts and jumpers and stuff. So, you know, through the podcast, I've met a lot of cool people, a lot of, like, as I said, the lads from Emporium, Arnold Park Studios, and, like, there's some amazing art, like, clothing brands out there, like, that I don't know personally, but I'm close to. There's Jill and Jill that we had on as well. And, like, I have a lot of people there that I can kind of maybe bounce ideas off and So yeah, I just want to. I'm just happy with, as I said, kind of. I'm content with life now of like just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And not being too like I don't need validation from anyone to kind of maybe do something more. You know, I'm very much of the ilk now that if someone texts me and says, "Oh, do you want to do this?" I'm happy to say no.
Yeah.
And then if they're upset, you can ask me, like you can say, "Oh, why not?" And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm having a bad day. Whereas before it would have been like, "Oh yeah, I'll go and do that."
Yeah.
But I'm not in the
You're
middle.
not people pleasing anymore.
No, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I just kind of, I don't really know, you know. I'm happy with not really knowing, but just going to do things that I feel will give me something more, kind of fill me heart or me, you know, like just create. You get me. So yeah, I'm happy to continue life the way it is and just be present, you know, because I feel like a lot of people aren't present.
Yeah. And what is the podcast, just in case people want to look you up?
Yeah, it's the 44th View, so THE41STVIEW. Basically, me and Bob met in Top Man. It was 41 Grafton Street.
Yeah.
So the 44th View.
He was wearing skinny jeans?
Yeah, I only got him out with skinny jeans. I only got him out with skinny jeans this year. I was like, Bob, it's not cool anymore. Come on.
Yeah, no.
Baggy jeans.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's I don't know where life will take me, but I'm enjoying the ride, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people should. You maybe just take a bit of pressure off yourself.
You know, you're dead right.
You know, times can be tough, but for me, it's like if you walk towards something, or you know, if you say I don't have enough money to do something, walk towards
getting the money.
Yeah. Like if you have to put it off for a month, put it off for a month. If you have to put it off for a year, put it off for a year.
Yeah.
Everything doesn't have to be done right now. You know,
always need to have something to look forward to. Don't
of course, yeah.
Be it,
but even be it a holiday or a whatever it is, anything, buying a new car or don't put too much. But like we're all fucking trying our best, you know.
Yeah.
And
nobody has it figured out.
Nobody
has it figured out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I think just take pressure off yourself. And as you were talking about earlier, Bill, look inwards. You know, there's a lot that can be going on in people's minds and people's heads, and you feel like it's that you're the only person going through it. And you're not.
You're not. No.
And as you said, reach out to people. Even if you know me and you're going through something, like my DMs are always open for a chat. I said it earlier, you know. But yeah, just look after yourself and just move forward.
Happy days.
Yeah, we call it there.
Happy days.
Having me on, Bill. Yeah.
Preza, bro.
Like and subscribe. I'll do it for you.
Do your thing, Bill.
Billy Big Balls, episode 20 in the bag. Billy loves you. Nice one, bro.